Alright, so we are going to do assignment 4-4, the transfer fork. Start a new file. It says that all of the dimensions are going to be in inches. Start a new file. I am going to start sketching that front face with the circular feature. I'm going to do that on the XY plane. I'm going to start with my circle. It shows that it has a radius of 1, so I'm going to make a diameter of 2. So now a little bit. And now I'm going to start with that line that extends down from the side of the circular feature. It says that it is, the center of the circle is 0.75 to the bottom of the part. So I'm going to type in 0.75 there. Shows that the bottom of the leg is also 0.75. And then we're going to go up. This line is going to be 1.5. If I can get my line straight. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw this kind of arbitrary angled line up here. We'll adjust it later. So then I'm going to come to the other side and do the same thing, and it'll actually track us there if we want. Go back up the 1.5, and it should also do the same for us there. All right, so we have that, and it shows us that the top of the part here to here is going to be 1.75 apart. We'll choose dimension and get these 2 points here. And that's going to be 1.75. But we're still not quite even here. So let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a parametric constraint, and I'm going to choose the center point of the circle to one of the endpoints here. And I'm going to click there, and I want this to always be half of whatever this dimension is, and that'll keep it in the center. So I'm going to choose that, and it puts D5 there, so that's whatever that dimension is going to be. We're going to divide it by 2, and that gets us right in the middle there. And let's see, it shows us, we aren't there yet. So now we're going to work on drawing this stuff at the top. I'm going to bring this dimension down a little bit so I can see everything that's going on up here. So we'll pull those 2 down. There we go. And I'm going to draw some lines upward. Let's see. So this line up looks like it is going to be 1.25. There we are. And we're going to go all the way across because we'll actually end up cutting that out of the middle. Actually, you know what? We can go ahead and do that. All right, so this piece that's sticking up here, we're not going to do the circular part of that yet because we cannot do that in this extrusion. But we can look at the other end of the part and see that it shows those 2 pieces here are going to be 0.75 apart. Since we know that the whole thing is 1.75, we can infer that these 2 parts sticking up are going to be 0.5 a piece. We're going to come down. Let's see, what's the depth of this? Looks like 1.25. Come over, this is the 0.75. Back up, we can track that. Back over and down. There we go. And we know that the entire height of this part is going to be 3.5, so we can go ahead and add that dimension in. So shorten that just a little bit. All right, looks like we can go ahead and trim off the bottom of the circle. There we go. Make sure we're good there. I do believe we are. All right, and from there we can go ahead and finish our sketch. Zoom out. And then we are going to extrude. It shows us the whole part is 5 inches. And we're going to say OK. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut out the slot about the very top here. So I'm going to start a new sketch on this plane here. And then I'm just going to draw a rectangle across the top. Because I can always change the dimensions, which we'll do now. It says that this line here is going to be 0.5. And let's see. This end here is going to be 1. And it looks like the other side is going to be 1 as well. It doesn't explicitly tell us that, but it tells us that this circular feature that sticks up here at the top of that one has a radius of 0.5, so we know that the whole thing is going to be 1. So I'm going to go from there to there and make that 1. There we go. And so we're going to finish our sketch, and we're going to extrude through all. Do a cut. And that would be okay, that's fine, but I'm just going to do through all because it's a good practice to do. Okay, so we have that one. And now we're going to do the bottom one as well. We're going to start a new sketch. And be sure that you are not choosing this plane, because remember that extrusions will always go perpendicular to the face that you have selected. So if we do this, it's going to go downward this way, and that's not really what we want. So we're going to choose this plane here. And it looks like this one will go all the way up to here. Doesn't explicitly tell us that, but it does show us that it is 1.25 from the top. One rectangle. And I'm going to draw this one just arbitrarily across like that. And let's see, it says that these legs are going to be 0.75. So I'm going to make this 0.75 from here to here. Oh, I was close. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There we go. And then we're going to extrude that. Make that a cut. Through all. Okay, so far, that's where we're at. So now really all we need to do is just add the feature up here. We'll start a new sketch, and I'm going to put it on this face. I'm going to choose a circle. Let's see, it is slightly above where that's going to be. Actually, I think that's right. Okay, so we're going to choose that, and it's going to be 1. So if it's 1, it fits. Go ahead and add this dimension, even though I'm pretty sure it's going to be right. But we're just going to make sure. Yep, 1.25, perfect. And it says this will over-constrain the sketch, so it's a driven dimension because it is what it has to be. We can't change it. So we'll accept it. If it has those parentheses around it, that means it is a driven dimension and you cannot change it. Right, so we have that, and we cannot exactly do the hole in the middle yet. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off the bottom of the circle, finish sketch, and I'm going to extrude that across. All right, we're going to go the other way. Nope, we don't want to do text. Go to there. All right, so that puts that there where we want it. We're going to say OK. Now we just got to put the hole in there. And let's see, we can just use the hole feature. I'm going to put it on this face. It tells us that it has a diameter of 0.5, so I'm going to change that there. It's going to be a small circle. And then I'm going to make sure it's concentric. And I don't want it to go through all. I want it to just go through there. Oh, it didn't like that. Oh, and it took it all the way away. All right, that's still 0.5. We just don't have a taper. Oh, there we go. And we want the circle there. Still 0.5. We want to make sure that it is concentric. And we can just go ahead and do it at a depth. Let's see where we at. Distance. It's going to put this here. And we want that to be 0.5. Go. All right, so now we have this here, and we're going to try to mirror this feature so that we don't have to draw it again right here. So I'm going to look at the top of the part. I'm going to and come over, where's that? Mirror. And then I'm going to choose my feature, which is this, and this circle inside. I'm going to choose my mirror plane, which should, oops, I'm going to highlight it. Let's see, so if we did that on the XY, nope, that's not the right one. Here we go, that's the one I want. Say OK. And now we have the same part on both sides. Right, and this completes the part of the transfer fork. Now we're going to go to the drawing. Nope, I didn't want to open, I clicked the wrong thing. I want new, and I want the NCIDW. We want to choose base. Oh, I didn't save it. Alright, so let's go back here. Save. This is going to be 4-4. Save. Right, now I should be able to go in and do this. There we go. Let's see how big a 2 to 1 is. Yeah, that's going to be a little too big. Let's go back to 1. Actually, let's try 1.5. I think that's going to work. There we are. This is our front, top, and side views, and we will definitely use all of these. All right, so let's go to annotate. Let's go ahead and add our center marks and bisectors. So we definitely have a center mark there, and we have a center mark there. Right, now we're going to choose our bisectors. Let's see, we know that there is one between here and here. Same on the back side. And here. And then I know that there's also going to be one here and here. And here and here. Alright, let's see. Now we want to do one from here to here. And here to here. Alright, there are all of our bisectors and center marks. Now we can start putting in our dimensions. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the total height. I got zoom in so I don't get those points there. Right. And actually, I don't want that height. What we're going to do, since we don't necessarily want it to go to the top of that, we want it to go to the center. So that's our 3.5 that we had before. So we'll put that there. Right. Let's get the radius here. Put that right there. Our 1.5 here. And 7.5 down here. Put 7.5 there. Let's see, what else can we do up here? We can do these. Right, and I'm not going to have to do an overall width here because I have basically stated that here with these 3 dimensions. Let's see, I think that's all I can do on that view. Let's come over to the side. I know that from here to here is 1.25. Same over here. My circular feature dimensions, my radius and my diameter. I can do my depth right here. I can do my width. Actually, I can go ahead and do my overall width. this leg here. Try to get that in the middle there so it looks nice and clean. Right. Let's see. What other dimensions can we add on this view? I think that's all for this view. And on the top, we can do this one, the total width here. There we are. Let's see if we have missed any dimensions. Oh, we sure did. This guy right here. And that is all of the dimensions that will be needed. Let's see. Yep, that's all the dimensions that you need for the transfer fork.